On leaving the synagogue, Jesus entered the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. Simon's mother-in-law lay sick with a fever. They immediately told him about her. He approached, grasped her hand, and helped her up. Then the fever left her, and she waited on them. You are welcome to the Saints and the Church as we reflect on the readings for the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time Year B. The readings for the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time Year B present us with a new set of readings that provides valuable insights into our faith journey and our call to share the good news. The readings cause us to reflect on Jesus' power to heal, both physically and spiritually. It presents us with the themes of human suffering and the search for meaning, divine compassion and healing, and the power of Jesus' ministry. In the first reading, Job laments that he is experiencing so much misery and despair. But the psalm reminds us to praise the Lord who heals the brokenhearted. The gospel tells how Jesus cured Peter's mother-in-law, freed those possessed by demons, and preached in the area. The first reading from the book of Job raises profound questions about the nature of suffering, the presence of evil, and the justice of God. Job's words expresses his despair and anguish, reflecting the human condition when faced with tense suffering and adversity. As we contemplate Job's suffering, we are reminded that our faith requires us to trust in God, even in the midst of our darkest moments. This reading beckons us to find solace in the certainty that God works with us through all trials. The psalmist invites us to praise the Lord, who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. This psalm resonates with comfort and restoration, reminding us of God's compassion and loving nature. In time of distress and pain, we can find solace and hope in surrendering our burdens to God, knowing that He will provide healing and restoration to our wounded hearts. In the second reading, St. Paul emphasizes his calling as an apostle to proclaim the gospel, stating that it is both a responsibility and an obligation. He acknowledges the weight of this mission and describes it as a stewardship entrusted to him by God. St. Paul's message urges us to reflect on our own commitment to sharing the good news with others. Like him, we are called to actively live out our faith and eagerly spread God's love and mercy to all people, regardless of background or circumstances. The Gospel passage recounts Jesus' healing of Simon Peter's mother-in-law and the subsequent mass healing and preaching ministry that ensued. This account underscores Jesus' authority over illness, evil, and sin. It also highlights the importance of prayer and solitude as Jesus withdraws to a quiet place to pray. This example reminds us of the significance of nurturing our personal relationship with God through prayer, replenishing our spirits in order to be effective vessels of His love. In conclusion, dear friends, the readings for the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time Year B direct our attention to fundamental aspects of our faith journey. The suffering of Job remind us of the need for unwavering trust in God's plan. The psalmist consoles us, assuring us of God's healing and restoring power. St. Paul's words challenges us to embrace our responsibility to proclaim the gospel in our own lives. Finally, Jesus' example teaches us the importance of prayer and seeking solitude in our relationship with God. As we reflect on these readings, may they strengthen our commitment to living out our faith and responding to God's call to share the good news in the world around us.